Hey, good day. How are you? Let's analyze the year, guys. The bonus payout will take about 48 hours for everyone. If it hasn't been deposited after another 48 hours, let us know. You, with your UID, go to the liminal bot in the uncircle section, open a ticket, and say, hey, I've deposited this much. Then I did this, but my UID stayed. My bonus wasn't deposited, so I could take those UIDs and go. It's about those UIDs for which the deposit isn't going through. I could take them, go to BitUnix, and say, hey, these are the bonuses. Listen up. Let me tell you this point first. The point is, for those of you who have seen the Strategy Trader playlist from this server, it's easy to profit here. Why open it up? Because this is really an educational space. If I want to come here again and teach candlesticks, teach volume, teach trends, teach oscillators, if I want to teach any of these, we can come here and look at them together. The market was here, we analyzed it, and I said that there's a really important support level here. We went on from there. We pulled the number from TensorChart, if you remember. We went here and looked at it together on TensorChart. We got the support number, and below this level, we can track the level. It moved toward here. It moved toward this support with a pretty good reaction. We were waiting for a breakout, but the breakout didn't happen. When the candles started moving up, they broke this resistance and the market opened up. But here, why not? Because this price increase is happening with a decrease in volume. Pay close attention. This bullish trend here is accompanied by a drop in volume. So we're still here. The price is ranging, and there hasn't been any increase in volume. Again, our volume kept getting lower and lower, and at this level, we had three red candles. With a big increase in volume, it means now the sellers have taken control of the price, and the price should drop. Everything looks right, so should the price drop? So what happened next? Green candle, green candle, green candle. This resistance was also broken with relatively good volume. Here, we took out the sellers. We wiped them out, made a higher high, made a higher low, and we still have the resistance. We break it, your position comes and settles here, meaning after this candle was made, with the order book, my position also came and settled here. Your stop came below this range. With the order book, it went even lower, and now, for example, we could also set the stop here. What time was the price at? It was around 9 o'clock, for example. It was somewhere around here. I said, you must definitely take some profit. Make sure you lock in some profit. If right now you're watching and you haven't taken any profit yet, go and take some profit first, then come back and watch. Continuing the lesson, it doesn't matter at all if this goes up or down now. Go and take your profit. Our important levels are still above us. There's still some key levels left. The opportunity to take profit is limited, so go and take your profit. That means 2 videos. If you were just watching, you should have watched 3 videos, and you should have learned about risk management too. 4 videos, or you should have at least known about the order book. 5 videos. If you had watched, you could have easily opened your position here. One position was opened here, and another one too. Inner circle on link, and sell to bottom. I told you to go and post your analysis because I myself opened a sell position. Wouldn't it have been better if I had opened link? Why not? If I had only opened that particular link position, it would have undoubtedly given me a much more substantial and significant profit, but unfortunately, we ultimately decided to open this specific sell position instead, which was a different strategic choice. Why? Because I just like that sell on Sol more. Compared to Link, I just like Sol more. This R bar is close to 4, it's a safe profit because both of these pairs, guys, are limited. At least 50% of both of them have been closed. At least 50% of both positions are closed. Why do I say at least? Because I didn't do a fixed close. For example, I closed about 25% here. Then in the morning, I closed another 30% here. It was something like that. So I'm saying at least 50%. What are you doing with the position now? What are you gonna do with the rest of your position? I'm keeping it open. I've already secured my profit. Now I'll keep the rest of the position open and let myself fix my mistake. I haven't changed my mistake yet. I'm talking there, so I must have been talking about my previous mistake. Okay, those two were enough. One more thing, there's no change, so you're closing out the rest of these positions. It comes up for an hour. For example, up to 90. Here, it's either a sharp move or a fake one. For example, up here, it should go down. If they show you one of these somewhere else, then let's get back to my analysis. This is that fake move we talked about, and it's happening right here. So we actually open a short position here. It comes down to here, and we set a small stop so we can secure our profit. If it wanted to make that fake move, we would have already locked in our profit. This break of 1.95, 1.953 is a good trigger for a move. I know there's still some distance to go, about 8%. If it gives a trigger here, you can open a position yourself. On the 15-minute chart, you can open a position with a break of 1.830. You can now go ahead and confidently open a new position. But this isn't my main position anymore. These positions you open are just in anticipation, so that if there's a break at 1.953, you already have a position and then you can just hold on to it. I mentioned this for the top here, just so you're aware. And since I set my own alert for it, I thought I'd let you know so you can keep an eye on it too. In this bit, there was another point as well, which I checked in the Soul League. The other point we had in this bit was at this level, which was related to our overbuy level. Now, we've come here, and guys, it's not here anymore. We've already seen its training, and now a top is forming here. It's broken here. This is my overbuy. If I open this now at 5 o'clock, where were we? We were here at this number at 5 o'clock in this candle. It entered the overbuy. The RSI gave us another confirmation. For the space we have, for the position we're in, let me move it so it doesn't block your view. Let's go up a time frame. The weekly candle is really important. Forget about the midterm one. There are still 28 days and 21 hours left for it. Just leave it. For now, there's no point in analyzing it. Wednesday next week, something else will come up. The interest rate will be announced. The interest rate decision is coming, and it's at 87%. Right now, the expectation is that it will definitely decrease, and on the other hand, the policies have become contractionary. Has Taha explained to you what this is in New City Pro in the video? He'll explain it again today. So should we even pay attention to these things if that's also being cut? That means liquidity will enter the market. Top money also wants to move. And these are the same shopkeepers. Besides technicals, this weekly chart is really important. The weekly looks like this. If we get a bit more volume, we can do it. We can hope to come back and reclaim some levels. Let's come back and reclaim some levels. Let me tell you this point. As long as this dear bit doesn't break above 120, it's very... When bit doesn't break above 120, at the same time, there's the dominance. If Bitcoin doesn't break 57,640 and at the same time your dear Arzadi doesn't break 7.49 or 8.16, it doesn't mean anything for you to register a position now. If you go in with FOMO or panic, that's not it. If you buy like this, it's like going to the supermarket, throwing everything in your cart and just swiping your card at the end. When these things haven't happened yet, opening a position doesn't make sense. Why? Because there's a chance it could come down from around 116. Let's say it comes down. There's a chance it gets rejected from here, and once again, it could get rejected from here. That's it, we're moving on. We're moving on to our targets, to 52, to 41, even to 36. For here, just like what happened before. Here. In the red week, it ranged a bit, tried to break a resistance. The drop was longer, the range could be shorter, and the upward move could also be shorter. Something like that could happen. Now, in this leg, if there's dominance, our Bitcoin had some really weird moves, but again, I'm saying we're not taking profits yet. Altcoins that are rising against the Bitcoin pair. There are some that we're pulling out in the watch list. In the watch list, we're pulling them out daily. We go to this live coin watch, we track them, and then we open positions on them. Okay. So be really careful here. At the level of 100 and if we reach this level here, we have to make an important decision, or we have to decide. Either we give up some of our profit hoping for a breakout up here, or we close and take a few hits. Up here, that's for that time, but we have to see if it even gets there. I mean, just these things. I'm saying write this down in that notebook you have so you can make a decision easily when the time comes so you've seen it once before. There, the week has about 4 days and 21 hours left, so for now, we have to see what happens. Guys, basically, when these two candles form next to each other like this, they talk about Bitcoin and it just messes up the market structure. Seriously, does it really mess up the market structure? How long was I waiting here? I was here waiting for it to make a higher low, to form a double bottom. But when it does this, we don't have it now. Right now, we don't have a higher low on the daily time frame, nor do we have a double bottom, nothing. Because these two candles that cancel each other out, the chart is basically the same as when the price came down here, printed a red candle, then a green candle. The market gives you this kind of structure, just like that. That's it. On the daily time frame, these things don't make much sense. To explain it, like saying this big candle here, this small candle there, none of that matters. Either we wait for weekly lows or we need to look at the setup on the 4 hour or 1 hour chart. So now, since we want to check the setup on the 4 hour or 1 hour time frame, let's come down to the minute time frame and check it out. Earlier today, one of the guys asked a question that we're going to look at. The buy orders there are different, my friends. I'm looking at BTC slash USDT perpetual. I'm looking at the futures orders because the trading volume in futures is higher. The order volume in futures is higher. So that's what I'm checking. You were looking at BTC slash USDT on Binance. Now, I don't know if you were actually looking at Binance or not. Check the perpetual orders. That's more important. Also, try not to use this website too much on your phone. And if you do, don't stay on it for too long. Because this website is heavy, your phone will heat up. It's like you've turned on Call of Duty. I'm telling you this for your phone. When you first open the website on your PC, it even asks if it can use your graphics card to render the page. Okay, let's move on. How truly significant was this particular order on the 4 hour chart? Was there, in fact, another substantial order positioned just below it? How effectively and precisely did these specific orders react? Seriously, bro? And based on that crucial observation, I have already conveyed to you that insightful little tip about the footprint, that the absolute bottom represented the seller's dominant shadow, and nowhere else at any other discernible level. There were absolutely no sales whatsoever recorded here, meaning all the selling happened down to this point. There were no sales anywhere else here, meaning what? It means that here, buyers took control of the price, and in the end, there was a lot of green. Buyers took the price control away from the sellers and handed it back to the buyers. Again, at this point, the bottom of this shadow was full of selling. Basically, it was a FOMO bar. Here, they sold again and took back control of the price from the buyers. This is a really important point. Just this one thing. Later, we'll talk about footprint, delta, and divergence. You see this, friends? Take a closer look at this. This is something I always keep at the top of my chart. Man, that's my browser. Why can't I remember? I've had this browser here for ages. Haven't you ever used it? Haven't you gone to explore it? Do you see what this is up here? For example, I use it to check the website for Volta. Go check it out on don.com. Follow up on it. Don't pay anything. Don't do anything. Just go see what it is. Okay, now let's talk about resistance in terms of our orders. Let me teach you about strong resistance in the order book. From 93 to 92,500, there's a lot of sell orders. This is from 923. Look here, it actually makes sense, right? Because this is an important resistance level. If you look back from here, this is a really significant resistance. It makes sense to have this many orders here. What does it show us on the daily chart? On the daily chart, you need to show me 9,249 so we can compare all these walls together. Take a look. There was one at 94,500. I think we had an order at 94,500. Other than that, we don't have any special orders. What about our buys and supports? Up to 92,400, we have good support orders. So does that mean those are useful right here? Is just having an order enough? Can we say, yes, this spot is full, it's exactly what we need, this is enough? No, it's not enough. For us, it's just technical. We keep it on the side for a reason. Okay, technicals are just an excuse for us, an excuse that's been tested in back tests. Don't put all your excuses under your feet. There are 1,004 new points to consider. So don't just say, here at 92400, this spot is full of stuff, full of orders. For example, at 208800, that's Bitcoin, and here there are 254 Bitcoins. So this spot is really important. Don't look at it so lightly. A lot of money needs to be spent here. If this area is lost, even if a lot of money is spent, if this area is lost, we're done. Are there any big orders coming into your own range or not? For now, you're just watching this. Until we learn more about it, okay, so we looked here. How did we get here? From exactly where we are now to this point, this area that we have here. There are a lot of orders here. If this support breaks, it could give us another entry trigger. The market is in a long position, which is great. What's the calculation? If a candle comes and goes up, it gives you a setup. So if you place a buy stop here, you need to set about a 3% stop loss, let's say. If we say it goes up to 100, that's what it would be. The risk reward is 2 to 1, and the risk reward is below a resistance level. The important point is that there's a high chance of fake outs in positions, so the risk reward isn't worth it. It's not worth it. So, are you going to rush into taking a position here? If this one wants to go up and you want to set a proper stop, this setup isn't good. It's better to wait for it to come. For example, let it do this and then take a position here because this is an important resistance. Just getting a risk reward of 2 out of this isn't worth it. So, what if it corrects and comes down? If it comes down with lower volume and then goes back up, here we didn't have an increase in volume, but when it went up again, we did have an increase in volume. We should have the same rally here that we had down there. For example, if it comes down with lower volume and then goes back up again with lower volume, for now we don't do anything. Again, here it corrected whatever it was doing, whether the volume was increasing or decreasing. If it wants to move again and there's an increase in volume here, go open a position before the breakout. Right here, go open a position before the breakout. At that level, go open a position. The most important support zone we have in this area, guys, is right here at 90,000. This lower box is the most important support zone we have. If it comes down to test it, that's when you open a short position. Up to this point, as long as we don't break below this level, there's no reason to open a short position, or it's just a range box below this level. That's it for the Bitcoin area. Let's move on to the next part. Barsu. Let's leave the rest of our charts for now. Don't forget to remind me to check them later. All right, on the daily total, what am I saying? That level messed things up for us. Now our important resistance is at 3.16. The most important resistance we have in this area is 3.25, and it's turned bearish. Either nothing happens, or after this, it turns bearish and I'll post an update for you, or tomorrow it turns bearish. I'll post an update for you myself. On total 3, the most important level we want to reclaim. What is it? 927. Let's see. We have a bounce back to this box. Here, it's a bounce back to these boxes for us. Right now, the important resistance in our way, the one we want to trigger or get confirmation from, what is it? 895. So what's the plan up to here? We'll take a look at the coin's trend together, but they need to make a move first before it gives us a good position, because as we calculated together, the risk to reward wasn't worth it. What about total 2? Where's our box? Why is it at 1 point? Why 3? Why is it so high? Why is it for total 2? I already explained why total 3 is so much higher. It's because Ethereum has a much bigger impact on total 2, but not on total 3. This impact is on Bitcoin dominance main in this main wall. Sorry, I mixed in some English there. What was happening in the meantime? Was it working? It was making green candles. Whenever the market was bullish, Bitcoin dominance would show green. Be happy. Even if you didn't have a position, even if you missed out, even if you wanted to open a position. Anyway, you didn't pay attention. BNB's entry trigger is just now at 901. SOL's entry trigger is just now 144 for AD. Yeah, right here is the entry trigger. ADA's entry trigger is right here. We need to be a bit careful with this move on the 15-minute chart. For example, at this very level, I wait for the market to give a correction before opening a position. If it just shoots up, I wait for the correction afterward, then I open. I don't open here right now because it's risky. Let's come down a bit, reset once, start over again. But it's because of the bullish dominance that these altcoins add. Right now, Link is a bit ahead. Link has moved further, and this beloved altcoin of ours is about to give you a trigger to enter. They're just now trying to reach their main resistance levels. As for AVAX, nothing at all. Same with Thal. And Pendle as well. So be happy because of that dominance. It's half a Bitcoin that's turned green. USDTD at 5.91, 5.911. This is really important for us. We came here, got a reaction, but I can't say this is a lower high, unfortunately. Well, maybe on the 1 hour chart you could say that, but not on the daily. Like I said, we've made a lower high compared to the overall trend. We can't really say, for example, that this bullish trend is over or that the trend has turned bearish. It's just a feeling about the trend. The USDTD uptrend is over. Let's move on to a new structure. For example, we could break this area, come down here, play around a bit, and then maybe do this move. We have to see how this plays out next. This isn't necessary. There's no need to get ahead of ourselves. If something actually happens, we'll take our position then. If it bounces from here, from this level, this 5.960 is important for us. If it doesn't bounce, wait for it to bounce from some level. Wait for it to give you a stop point. Here, it's not giving you a stop point. ETH is still in that box, man. This box is really something else, especially in the DeFi space. Seriously, it's a killer box. Just look at it. Check out the DeFi playlist. Remember, the future of making profits is in DeFi trading, not regular trading. Why do we say this? You think so? Because one day, you'll get to a point where you don't want to open a new position every day, check the charts every day, or constantly monitor the charts. If you know DeFi at that moment, you can just switch things up in a day, go travel, not force yourself into retirement, and only trade the big swings. For example, at that time, if you're in DeFi, you can just close out your weekly positions. Let's see how it goes when you close them weekly, or whether you get a trigger to enter or not. You can do it more comfortably, meaning you can take fewer positions afterward. Based on this THPT that I saw here, a couple of candles had moved ahead of it, but I told you, as long as Bitcoin is in this box, whatever it does, Ethereum will do the same. Now, whether it's one candle ahead or one candle behind, someone asked, what does it mean to be one candle ahead or one candle behind? It means that in one of these candles, it might show a stronger reaction. In one of these candles, it might show a weaker reaction. What I mean by ahead or behind is not about time. Time-wise, they move almost together. As long as Ethereum is in that box, they always move together. Breaking 3050 is a good position. It could be. Or a late entry could also be good. Where are you waiting for it to pull back? You're waiting for it to pull back to 3238, so that after breaking 3644, it can start a new trend for us. Don't forget to check the spread at the exact minute. Have a good day and night.